Jason in Western Pennsylvania. Jason, how's it going?
Hi, how are you doing today?
Doing all right.
Hi, Jason.
Now you called in earlier today looking for our show, and you wanted to prove that life is deliberate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
First, I'd like to start off with the concept of uncertainty.
Okay.
Since that's with quantum mechanics, and I hear a lot of the disbelief in life being deliberate.
Okay.
Starting with, if we're talking about random, which is something that's unpredictable, or what's your definition of random? Let me go with that.
What's my definition of random? Well,
Yes.
I know in computer science, random isn't really random. There's going to be mechanisms that kind of determine the randomness, but they just become so uncalculable to humans that it kind of becomes random. And I'd say that probably works to the same degree to the universe, right? If we had some sort of gigantic calculator that could calculate everything, it seems so far that we could calculate the things that we see. But because we're limited in our capacity to understand patterns and how things work, life seems random. It seems to go beyond kind of nature's control. Although quantum mechanics may actually disprove a lot of that. I'm not an expert in that, but that's kind of my short.
But that is a topic of physics that we fully don't understand yet. So what he's saying is random. Very possibly, it might not even be a thing that exists in reality.
Yeah.
But maybe it does in quantum mechanics, the one area that we really don't get, right? Mm-hmm. Well, not the one area, but one that might explain randomness.
Sure, yeah.
And we don't really understand it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it.
Okay, what I was going off of that then, if we're saying that random might not even be there, because that is exactly what I'm asserting, that there is no random, that it's more our subjective view as human beings that consider things as unpredictable or unknowable. But my thing is, if something is unpredictable and we know it ahead of time, that makes it predictable. If we're asserting that random is an unfixed pattern, that is a pattern of being unfixed.
But how could something be unpredictable that you knew ahead of time? That seems like a contradiction.
No, what I'm stating is that just because we know something, the very fact that we know that something is already unpredictable makes it predictable, renders it that it's at least predictable in the aspect of being unpredictable.
So I'm going to say, like, in the sense that you can know all the total possible outcomes. Maybe. If you're talking about a situation where we don't know the outcomes even what's possible, then I would say that that's totally random. But I guess I see what you're saying in that if we know that, like, let's say there's only two options for something and it's either going to be one or the other, I would still call that random, even though I know the possible outcomes, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Right. But what I'm stating is that it would be you, the individual or the perceiver, that it is saying that it's random. It's kind of like how you just started off the conversation with the computer program example. It's the very same thing, only why can't we look at it from our level as human beings? We're the ones asserting that there's such a thing as random. Mm-hmm. We're the ones saying that life is random.
Okay.
How do we actually know that it's not a pattern?
Okay, let's accept that reality is a pattern and that things happen exactly the way that they were going to happen since the Big Bang, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that something's deliberate, because that would imply intent. And for there to be intent, there would have to be consciousness, and you can't prove consciousness of the universe.
I've written a book called Wild, What is Life Definitively? And I would assert that I have pulled together all of the peculiarities in life experience, and can prove that there is an intent. There has to be intent behind it all.
What's your best defense for there being intent and therefore universal consciousness? The best one you got, just to throw it out there.
I wouldn't say I have a best. It's almost like it's a
just pick one of the top three.
Well, there being no random would be one of them, since uncertainty is what quantum mechanics a concept that everyone is beholden to for some reason, that's its main tenet, is uncertainty. And if I'm stating that there is nothing that's actually random because we cannot prove that other than our own subjective perspective, then objectively everything would be deliberate.
Yeah, but just because we can't prove something doesn't mean it can't be true, right?
Just hold on. If I'm just stating, I just stated that we're the ones that are asserting that there's random. Remove us from the equation. Okay. Life is not random.
Yeah.
If you remove us from the equation, life is not random. That is my point.
Yeah. So, like you're saying, to subjective human beings, life seems random. But if you took humans out of the equation, like life isn't actually random. There seems to be like a physics to the universe, right? I see what you're saying. I think.
Right. That there's a pattern. What I'm stating is, if we go with the definition of random being an unfixed pattern, that cannot be an unfixed pattern because we know that it is unfixed, which makes it fixed.
Jason, if I were to tell you that I have an energy that comes from the sun that's inside of me. I have sun energy, right? That sounds kind of cool, and in a way that's true, but I'm using a very kind of sneaky word, right, that can make something synonymous that isn't necessarily synonymous, right? So I do have sun energy, okay? I went to Schlitterbahn recently on a school trip, right? I got more of a tan. I'm usually a very pale person. I'm practically blue in reality. But that doesn't mean that I really have like sun energy in the way that sounds. That sounds like some wooey, supernatural stuff, right? Like I get the power from the sun, right? In the same way, when you say that things are deliberate, don't you kind of mean inevitable? But deliberate sounds cooler. Isn't that maybe what you're doing a little bit? Aren't you kind of trying to make a connection? Aren't you kind of trying to conflate terms a little bit? And that might be intellectually dishonest.
I would agree if that is what I was doing, that would be intellectually dishonest, or if I was playing around with semantics. But I look at life as if I'm walking into a surprise party. It's random to me walking into it, not knowing ahead of time that it's a party that's planned. But to everyone else that is there at the party, it's deliberate.
But the people at the party are thinking agents with consciousness.
Can I finish what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I let you just talk for like 30 seconds.
Fair enough. I did interrupt you. Please continue. My mistake.
Okay. Now, for the person that's walking into the surprise party, and everyone yelling surprise, that is random to them. But to everyone else at the party, or particularly the planner of the party, it is not random. It's not a random experience. So just because that person subjectively that did not know ahead of time is feeling that it is random, I am trying to say that is exactly how our being in the universe is. If you notice, we've been collecting knowledge all this time while we've been surviving. That's not normal if you think about that. That when it comes to all, and why is there such a difference in capability between us and the other animals that we know of in existence? There is a big gap of ability simply based on our mental ability.
Sure. Okay.
You don't find that peculiar?
I mean, why would I have to find that peculiar? Just because we're the only, we're the only ones that are, well, so I would say, again, this is going back to anthropology. It also depends on what you mean by mental ability, because there are animals that have capabilities that I can't do, right? Bat. Yeah, like a bat has echolocation and stuff like that.
Bats are cool, Jason.
Yeah, and
are you saying bats aren't cool?
If we look at
bats don't harness electricity.
Yes, but if we look at the fossil record, right, and if we look at Neanderthal populations, if we look at Australopithecus even, like we're talking about other humanoid animals that had at least a comparable mental capability to us that, eventually died out. So I guess, to us, it seems like we're the only ones, but only because these other kinds of branches of human beings seem to died out over time.
And to piggyback off of Dan here real quick, Jason, What kind of moron would walk into a surprise party and think that was random? I mean, come on. They all in unison say surprise, and it happens to be my birthday?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If you're telling me if you're walking into some place, you're not surprised? Everyone yelled, you did not know everyone was...
Well, man, I guess if it's a surprise party, the goal is to make me surprised. And you're right, that would be a deliberate thing. But I wouldn't think it was random.
What is surprise is when something is unpredictable. People feel surprised by something they didn't know what was going to happen. What would be random?
That's not true. People that smoke cigarettes get cancer every day, and they're shocked by it.
Well, that's a tangent, but yeah.
Surprise is not necessarily unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
No,
pregnancy.
What I'm saying is you feel surprised.
Is a good answer to that.
Jesus. Okay.
If something is unpredictable, you're not expecting it. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay, so how could you not feel surprised if something's random?
How can I not feel surprised if something is?
Yes, you just admitted and conceded.
Well, because hold
on, you're cutting me off.
Okay, go on.
You just conceded that if something is predictable, then it is expected. The opposite of expected is what? Is it not surprise?
But if you also remember, I also made a distinction that if we know the total outcomes of something, I know that if I flip a coin, it's going to be heads or tails. It doesn't surprise me if it lands on tails. I'm not going to be like, oh, what? That's crazy. I didn't expect that to
However,
happen. But yeah.
This might be the key to where Jason's going. If it landed on tails 30 times in a row.
Yeah.
You would be surprised.
I would be surprised.
But that wouldn't mean it's deliberate, wouldn't it, Jason?
Ooh.
This is what I am stating.
Okay.
Let's get off.
No. Please answer the question.
That's two options.
Please answer the question, Jason.
What I'm stating is...
No. You're jumping away, buddy. Would it be deliberate?
No, I'm not jumping away. I'm using your guy's first example, which was the computer program.
Yeah.
It would be random in one sense, but to the whole program, it is not random.
I'm not sure.
That is exactly what I'm stating life is.
I'm not sure the program has a perspective on whether or not it's random, but it's an equation.
But the program isn't random. We agree with you there, so we'll give you that one. Can you give us the coin?
Okay, and this is what and
Jason,
what I'm saying is also
go to the coin, brother.
Come on,
stay on the coin.
Let's.
Okay.
The coin flip with two options. Of course, you wouldn't be random in that situation.
It's not.
But
is it deliberate?
Coin would be deliberate.
Wait, I missed what he said. Say that again one more time, please.
I would be expecting. Hold on. Every time I'm talking, it's like...
I know, but I missed... Robert was talking. I missed what you said. You said something...
Two people fighting here.
Yeah, you said it would be deliberate or it wouldn't be deliberate.
Right. Let me finish now.
Okay.
Because I'm not the guy talking about... there's... what is it? Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I'm speaking normal here.
All right.
I'm speaking a normal, simple concept. So I'm not coming out of left field here. So can I get that back?
Yeah, the floor's yours, Jason. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what I'm saying is the guy flipping a coin expects either heads or tails.
Sure.
That's two things.
Sure.
We're too great in the mind to be surprised by if it flips on tails or even if it flips on tails 30 times in a row. Yeah, it's going to be a little shocking that it did it, but to say deliberate, that's not the point. When it comes to the coin tail flip, that's not that doesn't have enough choices and possibilities. Okay. What I'm saying is that we live in a space of possibility known as Earth, which is within another space of possibility known as the cosmos, and with each second that goes by, we're all making decisions and choices via choices. And that's how it becomes deliberate. Because what are those options doing there in the first place?
You lost me.
Laws of nature. Why are there laws?
You lost me.
Why are there laws if life's not deliberate?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm missing where it becomes deliberate. How do we know when
If
something
there's
is
laws,
deliberate?
that means
With-
something had-
Right.
Let me ask you
something
this,
has to write
Jason.
those laws.
If I flip a
Something has
coin,
to determine those laws.
if I flip a coin, how do you
Well, I'm
know when
saying
my
that-
coin flip is deliberate? How do you know when I'm
You're
making?
cutting me off. Why are you cutting me off? We're going to the laws of nature. I thought you guys were the atheists here. Why are we talking about coin flips if I'm talking about the laws of nature?
I can
Well,
answer
coin
that
flips
question.
exist under the laws of nature. First of all, I don't know what your
No,
point
no,
is
no,
there,
let's-
but
let's stick to the laws of nature. You're saying how something can't be deliberate, so I'm going right to my argument.
well,
The direct
I'm
point of
asking
my
you
argument.
how something can be deliberate. I'm not saying nothing could
All right,
be
if there's
deliberate.
laws, all right.
How do we
If there's
determine
laws,
when something is deliberate?
Hold on.
That's my question. Yeah.
how do we determine something is deliberate?
Yeah.
Because if something, in order for there to be order, because there's an order to the universe, that is what I'm saying. It is a pattern. So if there's an order to something, something has to determine that order.
Sure,
if
but
the order didn't determine itself.
well, I mean, why not just stop at the laws of nature? Why does it have to be like an intelligent being?
I just said
Yeah.
that if something put it in order, that means it had to be determined by something. So that would make it deliberate.
Oh, okay. I see.
Why do
I
I
don't-
don't. That's simple.
Because I mean, gravity orders things, but I don't think that there's a deliberation behind that, right? I mean, gravity puts things into piles and puts things together, but I don't have to say that there's somebody pushing that together, right? It just seems like it's just kind of happening.
The fact that there's life,
Yeah.
a perceiver, there's this objective thing called space and Earth. Those things are objective. They're not living. But then you have a perceiver, a subject, which would be living things.
Okay.
Something had to make that. Something determined that there would be life. From
Yeah.
chaos,
That's where you lose me. I don't know why.
Right.
Why do you think that?
because we state that life has been increasing chaos ever since the beginning of time. If that is the case, that means the ingredients for life had to already be within the chaos, a part of the chaos.
I don't know that
There
we
would be
say
no-
that.
Yeah.
There's no way life could have emerged if there wasn't already an order for that to happen.
Well, see,
Is what
that's
I'm
your
saying.
personal skepticism, though. Like, I'm not sure if we agree with that premise.
Can I just ask?
Okay, here
Can I
you
ask
go.
him a question, Jason?
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
Real quickly, and then we do need to wrap up this call. Yeah.
Okay, real quick question, and please answer this, okay? Where does the deliberate action of creation come from, in your opinion? And try to keep it concise if possible. If it's God, just say God.
Where does the deliberation come from?
Why are things orderly, and who or what is making these things deliberate?
I am stating that a consciousness did that. The same thing that you're using to move your body, the same thing you're using to move your mouth right now is what is determined that. Some kind of consciousness is what I am asserting.
Okay, you're going to have to give us evidence for consciousness in the same way
And I am
that the
trying to-
Bigfoot guy's got to give us evidence for Bigfoot. You said you weren't like the
Okay.
Bigfoot guy, but you're pulling the same game he did. You're not
No,
producing evidence.
I'm saying that I wrote a book, and here's my evidence. If there are laws, something had to set them to work the way that they do and produce the effects that they did.
Yeah.
There's an order to it.
I just don't think so.
There's-
I think law is a colloquial term we use to describe the rules that we as human beings decide to live in societies. And I think it's also a term we use to loosely describe the patterns that we see in nature. But just in the same way that people conflate that we make laws as human beings, that there has to be someone who makes laws of nature. But I'm not sure if those two terms are compatible in the same sense.
Well, the pattern of them are. We're talking about a fixed, rigid pattern, which is how we came up to determine laws of nature.
But see,
We knew that there was a
but see,
fixed-
determine laws of nature, right? So like the laws of nature are descriptive, right? They're not prescriptive. That it's something that we as human beings have come up to describe the things around us. No human being has been like, I'm going to say the laws of nature work like this, just as they say, well, we're going to live a society just like this. It's not the same thing. It's two different things.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back then.
Well, we
Do you know-
really are out of time right now, Jason. But look, I really do appreciate you calling in. And
Of course we are. Of course we are.
Come on.
Jason, we've been talking for like 20 minutes, bro. Come on. I gotta go. I got other callers.
Of course we are. Hey, guess what? That was random to me, deliberate by you.
Well, I am running a show. Yeah, I do have to get to other callers, man.
He
But
got
look,
you.
And that's what I'm saying is going on in the universe.
It was a
And
sick burn.
I get you.
Right. Does science have all the answers?
No.
Are there questions that lie beyond science?
Yes.
And what do atheists rely on? Just science, isn't it?
Well, I mean, atheists rely on a lot of
We're
things.
done.
We're people too, just like anybody else.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't be all right if you rely just on science, but you admit and concede that there are questions that exist that science cannot answer.
Right, but
So to try to make me sound like the Bigfoot guy when
Jason,
I've come with more evidence than the Bigfoot guy,
I don't think
understand it. Evidence that you couldn't actually refute.
The Bigfoot guy had TPs.
he did have TPs.
You don't have any TPs, Jason.
Jason, here's the thing, right?
Get your act
I don't
together.
think I'm any Jason. I don't think I'm any smarter than you. I do not think I am honestly sorry if
life is deliberate in my book, Wild, What is Life Deliberately?
You're just plug-in.
Listen, dude. Listen. Please don't make me drop the call right now. Look, listen, dude. I don't think I'm any smarter than you. I'm glad that you're asking these kinds of questions. I'm glad that you're curious about this stuff, man.
Yeah.
We need more people in society that are curious about these kinds of questions. I don't agree with the conclusions you've come to. Right? That's the difference between you and me right now. I have no animosity towards you, Jason. I don't think I'm better than you in any possible way. The only thing I think is that I've come to different conclusions to you, and I have different reasons for it. And that's how I want to end this conversation, because I really don't want you to walk away feeling frustrated that you thought you just got made fun of on a show, because that's not what I'm trying to do here, bro. Like I want you to feel like what the work you put into a book, man. I don't know what it's like to write a book, but I imagine that's pretty hard. I imagine you looked into a lot of stuff. I say good for you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you can share that with us. But look, man, we have reasons to believe what we believe too, right? And yeah, we haven't written books about it, but we've looked into the stuff too, man. And we're happy to have a conversation with you, but we got to keep the attitudes better. All right?
Could we do a debate one day in the future? Could I determine my book
maybe
to debate with you in the future?
I'm open to it, I guess. I'm not really known for doing debates, but it's something I could get into. Yeah. I mean, you have my email address? You know what that is? I do it at the end of every show. It's truth@atheist-community.org. You can check me out on there. Yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Okay, Jason?
Truth at
atheist-community.org. And I do have to let you go because I do got all the calls, but Jason, I do appreciate you calling in, brother.
I appreciate you, gentlemen.
All right.
You have a good night.
You too. Take care.
He was a sweetheart. I mean,
You were getting
I don't
into
think
it.
he likes me.
No.
He liked you.
Jason is, I believe, has called into the show before.
Oh.
And so
So you guys have history.
it's this idea of,
I felt a thing. I felt a connection between you two.
it just has to be deliberate. I can't imagine a world that doesn't make, it's not deliberate. It doesn't make sense to
Right.
me.
Right.
Right. And
I can't think of it any other way, therefore it must be true.
Yes. And I sympathize with that, but
I do not.
For everything things happen out of randomness. Patterns emerge from randomness.
I didn't like that
right?
to make his argument,
Yeah.
he had to insult the Bigfoot guy. Like, we were cool until he did that. And then I'm like, why are you picking on Phil?
Well, I don't agree with him that he says that he's
He's like, I'm no Bigfoot guy. Like, what? The Bigfoot guy was way cooler.
So I don't agree with him that he says that he brought evidence, right?
Right.
The fact that we observe patterns in nature, I agree, is mysterious. I think it's intriguing, and it is kind of it does make me wonder, why do things happen the way that they do? But to assume that there is a unique, unified intelligence that is organizing all these events is another claim entirely, right? That goes beyond just the observations we're making of.
That's in
how we're seeing
addition.
things. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think the observed patterns alone make it. It's like saying, oh, look, we see these kind of weird things happening in the forest. It has to be Bigfoot. Like, that's such a specific claim.
They were quite similar.
It's
when
such
it breaks it right down, they weren't that far apart.
Yeah.
One was cooler, though.
You're biased. So
I'm a little biased.
anyway, Jason, I hope you do call back, man. We can continue the conversation from there.